Hey, today we're going to set up a print-on-demand site with Printful powered by Shopify so we can sell shirts like this and pillows like this and so much more. Let's do it. Now, this video is sponsored by Printful. Printful is a print-on-demand service and the exact service we're going to be using in this video and through our series showing you our experience of opening an actual print-on-demand shop. Now, I am so excited to be working with Printful because their quality is amazing. They have so many different items that we can customize. Their response time, their turnaround time has been excellent. I have actually been using Printful for over 2.5 years already before I reached out to them to work together on this series. I ordered my first order from Printful 2.5 years ago for the Smart Money Mamas swag. And I can tell you that they have the softest sweatshirts, guys, the Bella and Canva sweatshirts. Perfection. They have become like a thing in the Smart Money Mamas community. Everybody wants these sweatshirts. But one of the shirts I ordered 2 years ago and have been wearing on a regular basis for 2.5 years, still has amazing print quality, clear, soft, no pilling. And so when I think about the type of product I want to sell and the way that I want to make sure our customer experience goes, we wanted to work with Printful. Now, you can follow along with this tutorial and with our whole series by signing up for our free print-on-demand launch checklist in the description of this video. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the little bell so you get notified each time we release a new video where we'll have more tutorials on running your print-on-demand shop and updates on how our shop is going. So, first things first, when you start a print-on-demand business, you first need to decide what your niche is and what your company name is going to be. Your niche is crucially important for your long-term success with a print-on-demand business. You need to know that there is actually demand for the things that you want to sell, an audience that's willing to pay for your products, and that you have unique and creative ideas for that audience that you can market well to sell, right? If you pick a bad niche, if you pick a space that there's not a lot of interest in or there's way too much competition in, it's going to be too hard to grow and scale, even if you want to keep this a relatively small side hustle business. For us, we picked book lovers. Books are a very popular space. Readers love having things that remind them of their books. And for Lauren and I, who we're launching the shop together in this series, we are our own ideal customer. So when we think about marketing and the things that we've bought in the past and what interests us, it makes it really easy for us to develop something for our shop. So we picked apparel and home goods for book lovers. And then for the name, you want to make sure that the URL is available for your name, that the relevant social media sites are available for your name, and you want that to be consistent across, right? If you have to pick variations of your name to get social media profiles, it's just going to confuse your audience. So make sure that the name is available across your social media platforms. And if you're interested in launching a shop on Etsy as well as owning your own site, which is something we're going to talk about later in this video series. So once again, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can update it later. They have an embedded traffic. It can be beneficial. If you're interested in adding an Etsy shop down the road, you want to make sure that's available too. So pick your niche, pick your name. For us, we're doing apparel for book lovers, and our name is Kingdom of Threads. Now we're going to get into actually doing the tutorial and opening our shop. The way this is going to walk through is we're going to first show you guys how to open your Shopify shop. Then we're going to create your Printful account and link it to Shopify. We'll create the first 2 or 3 items. The reason we do it this way is that way we can push into Shopify, and when we go in to design our Shopify shop, it's much easier to do when you actually have products in there that are showing you what it's going to look like with products in there. So we're going to create our Printful shop, put 2 or 3 products in the shop, and then I'll show you around Shopify and how you can start to customize your site and be ready to launch. Let's get into it. So first things first, we got to create our home on the internet. So we're at shopify.com right now. This is where we're going to make our main hub for the shop. It makes checkout super easy. Shop pay is fantastic. And we really love the interface within Shopify, and it connects really well to Printful, which is what we're going to use to print our products. So we're going to go to start right here in the upper left. We're going to hit online presence and go to web address because I want to make sure we have the .com available for our site. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in Kingdom of Threads. .com, which is going to be what we want to use as our domain. We're going to search for available domains. So we see here that kingdomofthreads.com is available. So we're going to click right here and we're going to sign up to buy our Shopify domain. So we're going to do kingdomofthreads@gmail.com. And then we're going to put in our password and hit next. So this is the part of creating our store. So we're sitting here, it's applying all our store settings, and we're getting ready to go. When you come in, you're gonna have to tell them a little bit about yourself and the stuff that you're selling. Are we already selling? I'm not selling products just yet. What's our current revenue? I'm just getting started. And then we are not developing for a client, so we hit next. And now we tell us a little bit about ourselves. And so I'm going to do that and then come right back when we're all done. So now we have our information. We're all set up. And what we have to do is actually buy our domain. So we're going to click this buy button and we are going to put in our payment information. And I'm going to put this in, hit add credit card, and I'll be right back. So once we put our payment information in, now it brings us to this checkout page. It's telling us that it's going to auto-renew this domain every year at $14, that we have Whois privacy, which means it's going to hide my address and name from search systems, and we're going to be ready to go. So let's hit buy domain. And so now we're connected. kingdomofthreads.myshopify.com is now going to be connected to here. It says action required. And so automatic domain redirection is disabled. We're going to hit manage. And so we have to verify our email address before we can have that work. So we're going to pop right over here. We're going to see verification required. We've recently registered this, and we're just going to hit approve domain admin and do its spinny thing. And now we are all set to go. So everything is here. We're just going to hit verify information. And now we are ready. We can come back over here, and when we go back here, it'll show us that we're all connected and ready to go. Now what you're going to see is that you're on a trial plan of Shopify. So if you want to select a plan, you can. However, you do have a full trial, and you can pick these plans. For most people, a basic Shopify plan is a great place to start. It's all you really need if you're not sure how much you're going to sell. This $79 plan is going to give you things like advanced on analytics, fraud analysis, some better transaction costs on payments and things like that. But in general, starting with basic is completely fine, and that's what you're using on your trial. So you can keep your trial, see if you get some sales coming through, and choose a basic plan. They will let you know before your trial expires. But for now, you're ready to go, and we can go in and set up our Printful shop and start connecting it to our Shopify shop. All right, so now we're ready to set up our Printful site. We're going to come to the page and just hit Start Selling. Then we want to create an account. You can sign up with Facebook, Google, Apple, or just your email. We're going to use Google in this case. And we're going to use our Kingdom of Threads email. We're going to put in our name, our email, and we're going to agree to their terms and conditions, and that we're the publishing process. We're going to hit Sign Up. And then we're going to tell them about ourselves. This is actually a drop down. For some reason, you guys can't see it, but we are starting an e-commerce business. And then just hit Finish. Now your Printful account is set up, and they're going to give you your next steps walkthrough to get your site ready. Confirm your email would normally be the first step, but sometimes it takes a little while for that to come in, so we're just going to skip that for now and go to connecting your store. Now we already have our Shopify store set up, so we can connect that, but there are many different services that you can sell from, including Amazon when you're using Printful. But we're going to use Shopify, so click Shopify. We're going to add the app to Shopify. And we're going to put in our Shopify URL. Now, if you don't know your Shopify URL, you can come in, click Online Store, then scroll down and click Domains. And you want the one that is .myshopify.com. That's the one that the apps are going to recognize as your Shopify store. So copy that or just type it out. It's going to be the name of your URL, as long as that's how you put it in there, .myshopify.com. But just in case you didn't know, hit accept. And now you're going to re-sign into your Shopify shop. I don't know why it does this every time, but it does. And you're going to confirm that you're willing to give info to Printful. This is going to let your orders be submitted and actually processed. It's going to go back to Printful. Once again, you're going to have to sign in to Printful. Just hit sign in the bottom left. Sign in however way works for you. We're going to hit sign in with Google. And it's because we're already signed in, it's just going to have us confirm our connection. Now that's it. Your Shopify store is now connected to Printful and you're ready to go. Now we can go back, confirm our email address because it's been long enough. Okay, so we've now checked off 2 items off our list, 3 items actually. So we're going to go and create our very first product template. This is going to let us add products to our store so that when we go in to design our Shopify shop, we have things there to show us exactly what it's going to look like with products in there. So let's create our first product template. We're going to go to t-shirts. And we're just going to pick the standard Bella and Canvas t-shirts. I love those t-shirts. They're super soft, super high quality, and we have a ton of color options, which is great. In this case, I just want a white t-shirt. So this is where you're going to select all your different colors, whether you want it printed or embroidered, and you can upload your file. So I'm going to unclick everything here except for white because that's all I want. I'm going to upload my picture. In this case, we have to let them know that we have commercial rights to this item, that all the content is ours. So we're going to hit understand and hit accept. This is why you can't be processing logos, things from other people. You want to make sure these are your own designs and that any pictures or text fonts you have in there are things that you have commercial rights to. So now you can really just drag and drop. You can see the size in the lower left there in the black. That's telling you how many inches it is width and height. And so you can kind of get a sense of how big it is. Literally holding up a ruler to your shirt can be helpful. And when you have it where it is, you just want to hit Next step, put in the title that you want for your product. So in this case, this is our introverted but willing to discuss books t-shirt, and we want all sizes to be available for this shirt in our shop. So we're going to select all the sizes, and we're just going to hit create product template, that red button right there. Now we can add it to our store. So you click the red button, add to store, and now you add the details for the store. Like I said, we want all sizes and we only want white, so we can hit proceed to mockups. And Printful offers you a ton of different mockup options for all kinds of different products. In this case, for the Bella and Canvas shirt, we have female models, male models, the shirt alone, the shirt on flat lays. You can see we actually have seasonal shirts down below. We have on the hanger, but in this case, we're going to use just a flat mockup. A flat mockup is going to work fine for us. So we're going to check out the wrinkled one, and then we're just going to do the flat one and hit proceed to pricing. Proceed to description. So this is what's going to be listed on our Shopify shop. This is going to be the title of the product in our Shopify shop and the description. You can edit this here, or while you're currently developing your shop, if you just want to get products in there to design, you can just hit next and edit this in your Shopify shop later. That's no big deal too. So in this case, I'm going to write out a really quick description. You want something, that first line to be something that would catch people's attention. And so in this case, we're being a little bit quippy. Then we're going to tell them a little bit about the shirt. A lot of the bullets that they have in the Printful automatic description are about the product themselves. So you can either summarize that or decide what bullets you want in sentences and what's not. So I'm going to keep typing the description here for a second. Give me one moment. And so the benefits of these descriptions is that this is going to help in SEO, and this is going to convince your buyer to buy, right? It's going to let them know what they're getting, what quality they can expect. This is where you can put details on your typical shipping time or your shipping cost or what variations you have. If you upload your own photo later, which we'll talk about in the Shopify design later, you can actually put in what color that shirt is, but you want that description to be clear and easy to follow for your customer as much as possible, because they need to know, they have to have confidence in what they're buying, and they're really just looking at a picture online. So the more information we can give them, the better. If you're selling a shirt like this, that is a unisex shirt, definitely list in there that it's unisex. Typically for the Bella and Canvas shirts in particular, and I know this because we've ordered them before, like I said, for Smart Money Mamas, it's a little bit smaller than typical men's sizing and a little bit bigger than typical female sizing. And so you want to let people know to look at that size chart so they get the right size. Many print-on-demand shops, ours included, don't allow returns because they're printed for the person and it's hard to resell that item. And so we really have to encourage people to look at the sizing beforehand. You can add a tag. In Shopify, you can set up rules so that things with specific tags get added to specific collections and show up where you want them to on the site. And so that's why I'm adding a book lover tag. We're going to have a book lover collection, and that's going to pull in. And now we're going to set our pricing. This is where you're seeing what price you're listing, what the Printful cost is, and what your profit is going to be. This does not include the sales tax that you're going to have to pay on paying for the Printful item or on processing fees. And so you want to make sure you give yourself enough margin in the profit so that you're good to go, and make sure you're still making enough money after all those fees come through. In this case, the larger sizes are more expensive. And so to maintain our profit and make sure, especially as we run sales, that we're profitable, we have to increase, unfortunately, those higher sizes. And so now that we're ready to go, you can see up here that you can change your profit for the whole listing and set a consistent profit across. But now we can hit add product to store. And if we head over to Shopify, you'll see that our product is actually already in there. This is very fast process because Shopify and Printful are so closely linked. So if you go to products, you'll see our introverted but willing to love book shirt is already there. You'll see the title and description that we typed out. The size guide is automatically loaded if you click to have that option, which I highly recommend. And then you can always edit it on Printful right from Shopify. You can click that. You can add new images if you want your own custom examples of these images. And then you can add an SEO description. So if somebody in Google was searching for a book shirt or an introverted shirt, we might want it to pop up. So we want to make sure that that title, that description is clear and would make somebody who saw the search result in Google want to click. But otherwise, we can just hit save. And now if you want to add a couple more products into your shop, we can start designing our Shopify shop the way we want it to look. We can play with that as much as we want because as you can see, when we try to go to Kingdom of Threads right now, Shopify automatically sets your site to password protected until you're ready to launch so we can work on our editing. Let's do it. In the midst of recording this tutorial, I decided that it might be easier to show you how all the functions work once you can see it on a live site so you can see what we're actually changing. And so what I'll tell you is, remember how we said that the banner wasn't what I wanted in the past theme? I decided to go back to the debut theme, which is actually the default setting theme that when you sign up with Shopify. So you don't have to change anything, you just have to go to customize. And so first off, let me show you what our store looks like. And it took us not very long to customize the aspects of this theme. Creating the images and creating all our listings, that took time, but getting it to look like this from a theme perspective didn't take very long at all. So this is the top. We have our banner image. We have our call out with our sale. We have a featured product selection. We have our collections of options. So these are like categories of a sale. We have this is what's called a picture and text. This is a very awkward picture of me, but it's telling people to tag us on Instagram or TikTok when they get our products, and some photos in this area down here. So let me show you exactly how that gets set up. Okay. So we go to themes, we go to customize. Okay. So everything you're going to change is going to be over here. Okay. These are all pretty easy drag and drop systems. So for right now, this is our shop. And the first section is this image with a text overlay. And so this section, when I click on it, it's going to show over here on the right-hand side what image we have updated here. The best way to figure out the image size for your theme is to just Google the name of your theme and image sizes. So for instance, this is debut. Shopify theme, and it'll tell you the image sizes so that you get a nice, crisp, clear image. It's pretty easy. But then you get to decide, is your alignment middle? What's your layout? So if we wanted a fixed width, we could make this narrower like this, but we wouldn't want that, right? So we want full width. We can change the section height. And so typically you're going to set a default of like extra small, small, medium, large, whatever, but I want it to adapt to the image. I wanted the width of this photo to be exactly the height of my photo so that nothing got caught off. So I do adapt to image. And then what you can do, because this is a image text with overlay, is actually put a heading on it. So you could do like welcome to Kingdom of Threads, right? And you could put a button here too. You could be text, and we could link to something, right? We could link to all of our products, and that would put a button and text here. So if you don't want to make a header image like we did, where we're featuring some of our products, this is really going to depend on what you do. You could have a background image that's just like flowers or whatever, the picture that is like kind of just a good background image, and then put a welcome and like an enter the shop button right at the top. That works too. But we chose to just go with a photo, because we wanted that like kind of like visual entrance in. Okay. So when I remove all that, it's good to go. The next section, this is automatically here, is called a featured collection. Okay. And so this section is letting me choose a set of products that I have to automatically show up on the homepage. So for feature collection, we have a homepage collection. This is actually defaulted into Shopify, and you can select which of your products you want in this homepage collection to show on your homepage. You can customize it by deciding how many products you want per row, and then how many rows you want. So for instance, there are like 10 products in our homepage collection, but if I only allow 3 products per row and 2 rows, some things are going to cut off. What you can do is add a view all button, and that'll show the rest of your collection. I don't really need that. And we liked it with 4 per row. Okay. So and then you can title what this is. I think naturally it says collections or featured or something like that, but we have can't miss styles. Okay. The next section is a collection list. So we want to let people know what are the different categories of what you sell on your site, right? And so for us, we have our book lovers, we have our official Sarah J. Maas collection, all that kind of stuff. And so you can title this the bookish collections. You can title it whatever you want. And once again, you can decide on how many collections you want per row, right? We could do 2 collections per row and make these much bigger. We could do 4 collections per row and make it much narrower, but we don't have enough collections to really make that make sense. And so 3 is perfect for us, okay? And then down here, this is an image with text selection. And so over here, you can change, do you want the image on the right or the left? What's your heading? What's your text? Do you want a button? So like visit us on Instagram, and we could do our Instagram link, /, oops, I put a comma instead of a period. Sorry, guys. Okay. And so we could add that button and it'll have that right here. I actually kind of like that. Let's add that. Okay. And then these are a gallery of images at the bottom. Each of these images can just be an image. And so you can have the section height. This is changing how big you want those images. But then for each image, you can decide if you want it to have a link. So these are all clickable images. And if you want any caption on it. So for instance, this is Outlander. So we could type Outlander on here and let people know what it is. In this case, I don't really care so much about the text and the pictures. I want people to be able to see the picture. So I'm leaving that alone. If there are other things you want, in your page, all you have to do is click add a section. And all of these things have different options for you. So you can add a newsletter section. So let's click that. And this is going to tell them to subscribe to your newsletter. So join the Kingdom of Threads community. Be the first to know about new design releases, sales, and more. Okay. And then we can have them subscribe to our email list. Okay. And so this could be a great thing to do. Let's actually keep that here too. I like that. And then we could hit add a section again, and you can pick all of these things. You could add testimonials. You could add a featured product. You could add a slideshow, and any of it is very easy to create. And blog posts are another thing. So if you have blog posts on your site, you can add that here. You can put in, recently on the blog. Okay. And then it'll preview what posts you have here. And you can select, do you want, the most recent posts? What do you want here? So we don't actually have blog posts. So we're going to delete that. And anytime you want to delete a section, you're going to click on it. And in the bottom right here, you're going to hit remove section. Okay. And then the footer is the same thing. We're going to change quick links, newsletter, all that kind of stuff. These menus are changed in the edit menu section over here. So you'll see this is our footer menu, and we have all our important pages with our information for our customers on here. Our about page, our FAQ page, our shipping policy page. So things that they might be looking for, that's our footer menu. But our header menu, our main menu, is what goes at the top. And so you can see here we have our collections. And what I'm noticing here as I'm doing this is that our From Blood and Ash collection is not in here. So all we're going to do is hit add menu item to collection. We're going to put in From Blood and Ash. And then we're going to search or paste a link. And so we know that in collections, there's a section called From Blood and Ash, and we're going to hit add. Okay. And so then I want to shift this up because I want it to be above stickers. And then all you do is hit save. Okay. And so when we come back to this customization page, what you guys need to know about all of this is that these images are really what's going to drive your site, your colors. And so you can do that too under theme settings. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but your colors are all here. And so when we go back to, you guys already created your brand palette, this is where you're going to put your brand colors in, right? All our headings are this color. Our sales prices are our second color. Our primary buttons are another color of our brand. The background for image overlays. So when you see down here that these are a little bit blue, that's because it's using the color from our brand. This is where you're going to change your typography. So we have Righteous, which we put on our brand portfolio as like our headings font. That's going to be right here. And you can change the size of it, right? We might say that we want our heading base size to be a little bit bigger, in which case you're going to see these headings get bigger, which I'm okay with it being a little bit smaller. Let's bring that back. Okay, so it's going to change all that. For search, we want to enable product selections. And so what that means is suggestions. So what that means is, let's say we come over here and I say, I want an ACOTAR thing. Okay, ACOTAR is not a good example. Stars who listen. So we have two things that have stars in it, and it's going to show them exactly the product so they can click and go right to that page. This actually really helps the customer experience and might actually show them things that they didn't even know that they wanted, right? And so product selection is something that I would recommend. And then show the price, show the vendor in search. Those are just makes the search a little bit more crowded in my opinion. And then you can add your social media pages, and that means that they get linked right here in the footer. You always want to make sure your social media pages are on your site so that people can follow you and share and things like that. A favicon, so this is going to be scaled down to 32 to 32 pixels. It's going to be square, but it's going to be really, really tiny. What a favicon is these little images that are on people's tabs. This makes it easier for them to find your site. So you want to have your own favicon, because otherwise it just has this blank kind of thing that's related to whatever browser you're using and it's not customized to you. Add to cart notification. This is that little pop-up you get in the right-hand corner when somebody adds something to cart. This is a helpful thing for your customers as well. And then checkout is, do you want anything specific on your checkout page? And so for us, do we want a background image? Do we want a custom logo? I definitely want to make sure we have a logo on there. So let's do that. Select. Okay, we've got Kingdom of Threads. That's just the text. So I'm going to change that in a second. But the positioning, all those things. And so what you'd have to do is go to checkout to see what this is going to look like. Let's add something to our cart so that we can see what it looks like. Add to cart. Okay, so see, this is the pop-up we were talking about. So now if we hit view cart, and we hit checkout, and this is what's great, guys, is that you can edit this all in your own page. And so for here, we have this image. And so we want a different photo here. We want our full logo, which I think is this one. Select. There we go. And so we've got that. We want the position on the left. That's good. Or do we want it in the middle? We can kind of figure that out. Okay. We can see, do we want it in the center? What looks better? It's going to take a second to load. All right. I kind of like it in the center, so let's do that. The logo size is medium. We don't really need a background image. I think this looks kind of clean and nice. The form fields are white. That's fine. Now, we want to make sure that our colors match our brand colors, right? We don't want these to be somebody else's colors. And so let's make sure we change those. Let me grab our fonts and we'll be right back. All right, so now we've added our colors here. These are our main codes. I hadn't memorized them yet. But now you can see this page looks much more like our checkout page. Okay, so it's much more customized. And so we're gonna hit save. Okay, we're gonna get out of this section. We're gonna hit save. And so this is what it says, change is saved. So we're good. And now we can hit back. And now we know that our theme, when we go check out what the page looks like, you can see that we added this join the community section. You can see when we check out that it's more customized, and that's all it takes. And so really this is very much a drag and drop editor. And then as you add specific products, it gets customized to that. Okay. And so this is the setup of the page. Once you do this, so what I would recommend doing is adding at least 3 to 5 items to your shop before you start trying to customize your homepage. Otherwise, it's hard to see how it's going to look because you don't have anything loading and giving you an example. You want to also set up a few collections so you get those boxes to pop up as well. And then you want to keep moving. You're going to be able to much more easily see how things look if you have a few images and you have a few products in the system. But really, you're just changing a couple customs. This is really drag and drop. It's even simpler than WordPress in many cases. And so go make something pretty and show us what it looks like. With that, you have a shop. You're ready to continue to add items, to set up your branding, and go live. To go live, you will have to do 2 more things. You will have to activate Shopify Pay so people can actually pay you, or do PayPal Express. You have to set that up. And you have to set up an automatic way for you to pay for Printful orders as they come through, because when someone pays you, you pay Printful for their part of the shipping immediately. And so they can't automatically take the money from the order that you're getting from Shopify. And so sometimes if you're using PayPal for both of those, that's fine. Or you want to load a credit card or a specific way that you want to pay for those items as they're ordered. That way your orders get processed as quickly as possible. You don't have to remember to go in and manually submit payment for each new order that comes in. At the beginning, maybe that's easy, but as you get more and more orders and as you scale, it's going to get harder. We have loved setting this up with Printful. You guys saw in this video how quick it was to connect Shopify to Printful, and then how easy it was to add items, all from within the Printful site, and to easily add variations and get them loaded up into Shopify, ready to sell in just minutes. We'll continue this series over the next several weeks. You'll see how we create designs for our print-on-demand shop, how we decide what to sell, some of the specialty items that Printful offers, how to set up an Etsy shop, and so much more. You'll also see how our launch went with Kingdom of Threads and how to run Facebook ads and scale. We're going to do all of that over the next few months, showing you guys the inside look at how we start and run this print-on-demand business. Good luck with your business. Make sure to hit that subscribe button before you leave so you get notified about new videos. And remember, you can sign up for Printful and Shopify in the description of this video and download your free print-on-demand launch checklist. I'll see you next time. Keep talking money.